You got what you need? All right. We'll get started and kind of clear up last week's game. Obviously, disappointed in the outcome of the game. Especially as well as we played in the first half. From a defensive standpoint, actually played for the first 3 quarters. But our problems continue in the red zone, or necessarily just scoring points. Last week when we got down the red zone once, we came away with points. Even having to overcome 2 penalties, back-to-back penalties, which we had a touchdown. But to have a false start and then a holding call, and then have a missed assignment on a play that Kamen would have scored on that opening drive. I thought it was great to get points. Would have been huge to get a touchdown at that point in time. Gave us a great lift, a great momentum. Defensively played extremely well. 0 for 7 on third downs in the first half, which was a big key of getting our defense off the field. Came in at halftime and down 6-3. Still have got great meetings in there, great adjustments that are being made, guys being extremely vocal and talking, and as top 25 teams do, they come out and they find a way, and that's been our Achilles heel is the teams that have been in those moments, those teams that have experienced those moments. It's they find a way, and they did. They found a way on the first play of the second half to score. We missed a tackle. Kevin Johnson missed a tackle at that point and caused him to go the distance, and that's something we haven't seen this year, which has been part of our success defensively, is eliminating the big plays, what I call the walk-offs, where it's a short 5-yard pass and they go score on it. And so, but still, the encouraging part was they kick off to us. We drive right back down the field again. And we can't convert a third and short, but we're still in field goal range, and we missed the kick. And so it's just like once you get the momentum going and once, okay, all right, we're ready to answer, something else happens. And still our defense went right back out on the field, made some stops, which was good to see. Our inability to get off the field late in the third quarter and fourth quarter on third down was a tribute to TCU. Hats off to those guys. They did a great job coming out in that second half and making some plays when they had to. But again, you look out there on the field and you see. I think at one time we had 10 sophomores and freshmen out on the field at one point in time. And while that's going to pay off down the road, you go through growing pains, both sides of the ball. It's no excuse. We're not in moral victories here. That's not what this is about. But our guys are playing exceptionally hard, and as we hit the reset button, start the new season. What do we know about our football team? Is that we're 2-2. We've lost to 2 top 20 teams, and in both of those games, we're well in the game into late second half, and so we've just got to find a way to finish, and that's we're yet to play our best football from all 3 phases, and so that's the challenge this week for our young men and our players to be at their best. And let's see what our best is. If we could eclipse what we've done the last 4 weeks and play better in all areas, let's see if our best is good enough. And so with that, going into Temple. Again, hitting the reset button, the seasons within the seasons you look at now, and you say you have your fall camp season, and it's behind you. We had a really good fall camp. You have your non-conference season. You finished 2-2. And now you start your conference season with the intent to get to bowl season. And what I know is we've got an 8-game season, and everybody's record 0-0 moving forward. And so that's what excites me, excites this football team right now as we get back out on the field today to get going. We're going against a Temple team that last year it was 45-40 with 2 minutes and 30 seconds to go in the game with the ball in our hands. And they made a play on fourth down to make a stop, and we didn't make the play to keep the drive going. But we had our chances. And what I like is I feel like we're better, without a doubt. I know we're better this year. Temple takes great pride. Coach Rule's done an unbelievable job building that program. This is in his fourth year. He was 2-10 his first year, 6-6, 10-4 last year. Played for the conference championship, and they're 2-2 this year. And they take great pride in playing physical defense. That's what they're known for. And it's no different this year. They returned 6 starters on the defensive side of the ball. That's given up about 320 yards a game, and giving up about 21 points a game. So they've got some experience back. Definitely Avery Williams is definitely a standout, an all-conference football player at that linebacker position. Very solid. And then they've got Sean Chandler back in the secondary, which is they played corner for him last year, moved to safety this year, and very active. 23 tackles, 1 interception. Extremely tackled. They're going to play exceptionally physical. We're going to have to match their physicality offensively. They run the football. They do what they do, and they get good at it. You'll see a lot of 2 and 3 tight end sets. The quarterback is playing well. He's a returning starter, Phillip Walker. He's playing exceptionally well right now for them. Their running back, Jahad Thomas, they move him all over the field. Probably one of the better football players on that team. But they'll move him at wide receiver. They've got a stable of running backs that they use, and they do a great job with those guys. They're not going to play fast. They're averaging about 60 plays a game, 61 plays a game. But we know that we've got to continue to play physical defense. This is going to be an extremely physical football game, and that's an area that our players have done a great job with. And so it's going to be our physicality matched up against theirs, and I anticipate it being a great football game as we both open up conference play. So with that, I'll open up for questions.
The second half against Baylor, well in the first half. Is there a similarity in those 2 games?
Yeah, I think so. I do. I really do. I think when you look at both of those games, you look at missed opportunities. When you look at the Baylor game, you get a penalty here. We get hands to the face on the opening drive of the third quarter, and which got them off the field. We were going to get the ball back, but we get hands to the face. They drive down and score. You start looking at the first drive of the second half against TCU, and first play they break it and they go score. And so, and then we had another opportunity there to where we have them off the field on third down and we get a face mask, and so it's just. You got to love our effort. I love our effort. I absolutely love the way our guys' mindset is right now. We're young in so many areas, and there's just there's 4 or 5 plays through the course of the game that they're making and we're not right now. A lot of that comes with building a program. It really does, and building and showing these guys, teaching these guys that look. Where it used to be, we only played well in spurts. We're playing well for an extended period of time, but we got to understand there's still 4 or 5 plays through the course of the game that we've got to make. And then you go back to Baylor and you look at the missed opportunities. We got guys open, Cortland Sutton open in the end zone, and then one mistake leads to another. Same way the other night, you got opportunity. We got Cortland open on the third down. And then we got Xavier Castile open down the middle of the field. If you just hit in games like that, when you play against top opponents like this, is your shots. When you call your shots and they're there, they have to stick. And when they do, you got chances. And so there's a lot of similarities to that. A lot of guys are growing up. A lot of guys are learning, and they're learning the hard way. They're having to learn. It's kind of the baptism by fire. They're having to learn on the run, and you got to think every team I've ever been a part of that plays this many young players. I hadn't been a part of too many of them, not this many, but they always grow through the adverse times. And we came back to work on Sunday, and our guys were extremely excited about getting back to the new season. And so, yeah, there's a lot to take out of it. And I'll say this: if we can learn from the opportunities of losing to two top 20 teams that'll pay benefits down the road, then you'll look back on it and say it was well worth that. So we'll see. Only time will tell.
Last week you talked about, especially 2 minutes before the half, not wanting to give some of those young guys adversity unless you really had to. How do you measure and what do you use to determine when they might be ready to do that?
Yeah. Well, one of our mottos is 4 over 4. We felt like a year ago that we got out of some ball games in the final 4 minutes before half and the first 4 minutes after half. So all off season long, all winter conditioning, we have shirts made up 4 over 4. Well, 4 over 4 equals 1. There's one way to fix it. And you play one play at a time. It takes one person to do their job all across the board. Everybody has to do their assignment. And so we actually put that in part of our keys to victory is, are we winning the 4 over 4 moments? That 8-minute time in there, 4 before half, 4 after half. And we didn't last week. We did the week before against Liberty. But we didn't last week. Matter of fact, we gave up 3 points in the final 4 minutes right before half and 7 points right after half. So we gave up 10 points in the most critical time, which we've identified as 4 over 4. And so, you've got to there's so much of the mindset behind it of not giving the other team momentum, especially as young as we are in some areas. But we gave up 10 points right there. We gave up another 7 points off of an interception from last week. So there's 17 points. If you can just eliminate just those key mistakes right there in those those critical moments of a game, that's you're gonna help yourself out. So we've identified where we've got to make sure that we have the momentum, or we dang sure don't let it go to the opponent during those times. And so as we get older, as these guys progress and continue to go, then you identify those times of the game, and you want to capitalize on it, because if we could be the one scoring 10 points in those critical moments, now what does it do for us? So that's literally how we break this game down.
Side and Bryce Wild to go in on the right. You had Braylon Hyder at guard. How did you evaluate your offensive line?
It was the fewest number of missed assignments that we've had this year. I still think we played with high pad level in some areas. We got to play better in the way we strike, coming off with better pad level. But overall, our missed assignments were way down. I think we only had 3 missed assignments in our offensive line, which is incredible, especially with the moving parts that we had. So we did some good things. We did have the holes were there at times. We've got to be able. I didn't think our paths in some areas were very good with our running backs. We got to work on that more. That's got to be a huge emphasis for us. And they were. TCU's been known for their defense. They play really, really sound defense, and so they did a great job of bringing the extra hat back into the box, whether that be the sound backer or dropping the safety down. And I thought they tackled really well. There was not too many times we won very many one-on-one battles. We had Cayman Freeman out in the flats a couple of times in some critical third downs, and we're unable to win a one-on-one battle. And credit goes to those guys because they tackled really well in space.
Was the red zone issues TCU's defense?
Yeah, we got down there one time and we came away with 3 points, but yeah, it was. I thought we had several other opportunities. I thought more than anything, our inability to convert on 3rd and short. We had a couple of times in there that, we got 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4. And, we missed some opportunities to keep drives alive that would have got us into the red zone. So, yeah, I definitely think you give those guys credit. And so I do.
Any injuries you can update?
We'll see on Nick Natur. We feel like he'll be a go. We'll see later in the week how he continues to feel. And we hope to get Daniel McCarty back. We'll see on that as well. Xavier Jones is still day to day. We hope to get him at practice this week and let him go. I think he would provide a big spark for us as well. Braden, it'd be he and Braden, which has been the 1-2 punch that we've been used to having. But outside of that, we're healthy. I think that obviously getting Darren Malines back this week will be huge for us. I know his leadership of him coming off the field the other night was big for everybody. I mean, it was. I think you see the impact that he has, not just on our defense but our football team when he came out.
How did you respond to that?
Yeah, Darren did a as you would expect a senior to do is to say, Coach, hey, I fully see the impact that I have in this football team. I talked to him Saturday morning, and I came up here and he was in for treatment, and I wanted to visit with him and see how he was feeling, and it was the right call. It was the right call, and that's something that. It happens as I watch many games through the course of Saturday. It's happening, and the rules in place to protect not just the defenseless player but also to protect the hitter as well. And so it's I'm obviously glad neither one of the players was injured. To the point to where it could have been bad, and so that's something that we talk about. We demonstrate, we show proper tackling techniques in team meetings that we see in practice, and we show those and point out those that are not doing it properly. And so it's a very big awareness for us. He's responded really well. He'll be excited to get back out on the field this week. As I've shared with you and shared with others, I feel like he's been in the 4 games we played one of the most physical players on the team or on the field.
Without him, did you guys step up?
Yeah, I thought Mikael Onu did a good job. He goes from playing 15, 16, 20 snaps a game to 60. And, for a true freshman, I thought he did really well. Obviously, when you play freshman, you're going to have some mistakes. That happens. I thought he did really well. I thought Christian Davis did really well in place of Jordan Wyatt. It was good to see Jordan get back out there. I think Jordan's playing as well as anybody on our team. And I've said that for several weeks. But, defensively, we keep playing with great confidence. They're playing too many plays. They're averaging 83 plays a game, and they would never say anything about it. But I think you can see late in the games, we're not built for that just yet. There's not a team in the country built to play 85 snaps a game defensively. And so we've got to do a better job of getting the defense off the field in critical times in the second half. And you do that by converting on short yardage. You do that by converting your third down game, winning on first downs. And so that's something that Coach Craddock and I have really talked in depth about, working hard on, is we got to be effective in first downs. But our guys are responding, and if they have to play 185 snaps, they'll do it.
You mentioned Temple's offense plays at a slower pace than some of the ones you've seen, perhaps with a more physical, grinded or physical approach. But at a slower tempo, does that change the way you practice your defense during the week?
No, not at all. I mean, they go against our offense, which is fast-paced, and then they'll have their own separate times to where that they'll focus in on Temple or whoever the opponent is that week, and then there's a lot of teaching going on during that moment. But we try to get definitely some good on good with each other through the course of the week. Now that we're back on a normal Saturday game, so there'll be. We'll do some inside run game against them, and so it's good for both sides in that regard.
Anything else for Coach?
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.